What is going on, YouTube land? I am Chris Catalunya. Before we get into this review, go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And once we hit that 25,000 subscriber mark here on this channel, I'm going to give away 2 more Supreme surprises, just like we did when we hit 10K. So definitely stay tuned to the channel, fight the algorithm, hit that like button. So right now I am in Austin, Texas. I am heading to SneakerPolitics because they are doing that Nike Stussy Spiridon shoe release, the Kolani. I don't remember what it's called. I just know it's coming out today. These shoes just dropped on the sneakers app, and I think they retailed at a price point of $170 USD. Add your taxes and your VAT just based on where you reside. But they are reselling on StockX, GOAT, and the SneakerCon platform for about $250, just dependent on the size that you need. Now, if I get that retail price point wrong, I will be sure to update you in a couple of minutes. It is 10 minutes to 11 o'clock in the morning here in Austin, Texas. Not too sure why there's so much traffic on the highways. There's nothing going on. Everyone's supposed to be working from home. Guess that's not happening. But yeah, I'm going to try to get to SneakerPolitics as fast as I can. I think there's already a line for this shoe. So as you saw, I was successful in picking up these shoes from SneakerPolitics in Austin, Texas. I am back in my room, my high school room in San Antonio, Texas, and we can actually get into this review. So this is the collaborative effort between Nike and Stussy on that Spiridon Cage 2. Now, here's the box. We have that cream white box going on with the Nike branding on the top, the label at the front, and Stussy branding on the sides of the box here and on this side. And the tissue paper inside the box is done in a grayscale with like a palm tree image. Pulling the shoes out, this is what it looks like. Now these retailed at a price point of $170 USD. Add your taxes and your VAT just based on where you reside. Now the release process, this was released at a lot of the tier 0 accounts as well as the sneakers app. To be quite honest, I know Nike and Stussy, they've made several colorways of the Spiridon Cage 2. Honestly, I think the only good looking one is going to be that cream or that tan one with black, but to be honest, I hate the entire Spiridon lineup from the OG model to the Cage 2s. I think all Spiridons are just trash. But the nomenclature or the actual history behind the naming of the shoe is pretty cool. So the shoe was named after Spiridon Lewis, who was a Greek marathon runner. So his original occupation, he was a water runner. Then someone actually encouraged him to join the Olympics and compete in like the modern day marathon, in which he did medal in I think 1896 or one of those years. So Nike, they did the research, they took the name and applied it to a silhouette that released in 1997, what we know to be as the Spiridon OG. In 2003, both Nike and Steve Smith, they wanted to come out with a sequel of the Spiridon shoe, thus creating the Spiridon Cage 2. Now it's 2020, and of course on the fashion timeline, styles tend to recycle themselves. We had the Supreme Tailwinds, we had the Undercover Daybreaks, and now we just have the Stussy Nike Spiridon Cage 2. Taking a look at the shoe, the upper is comprised of several different materials, where the top layer is done in a white meshing material with small diameter holes, enabling you to peer past that and see the panels under that, in which is done in a lightweight material and features perforated holes for breathability. Now, they lay across this black Nike swoosh across those particular panels on the lateral and the medial sides of the shoe. Now, encompassing the whole shoe, or kind of wrapping the whole shoe, you see this cage effect going on, which is done in a TPU or rubberized material. Now, this is implemented as structure and even shoelaces for the shoe, or substitutes as shoelaces for the shoe. Because as you can see at the bridge or the top of the shoe, that there are no like actual laces on the shoe. They employ that rubber going across, and you can see some of that white stripping, that nylon stripping going top to bottom. Top of the toe, we have that white synthetic leather. Above that on the vamp is that Nike swoosh that is embroidered on, and this is going to be the only place where we see Stussy branding on the shoe. It's going to be the top of the tongue right here, that black embroidery, and I'm kind of sad. I kind of wish that they would have incorporated like Stussy branding on the heel of the shoe, or maybe even on the heel of the insole. Just, you don't really know that it's a Stussy unless you look right here. Moving to the inside, we have this red meshing material that's done in a loose gauge fashion. It's not heavily padded on the lateral or the medial, but it is somewhat padded towards the heel of the shoe, and you can actually feel some of that stability support featured at the heel counter of the shoe. Now, removing the insole, this is what it looks like. We have this white insole going on, placed on a thin piece of blue foam, where at the heel we have this Zoom Air logo done up in black. Looking at it, it looks pretty lame. They could have incorporated a Stussy branding right here at the back of the heel. The heel is of a translucent TPU material. Smack dab in the middle, we have that black Nike branding going on. Again, a missed opportunity to put some more of that Stussy branding on the shoe. Above that is the heel tab done in a white nylon fabric. Moving on to the midsole of the shoe, it is done up in an EVA foam. Normally on Nike shoes, you see like a Phylon technology. On this particular one, we have Phylite, which is a lighter version of that Phylon material. Towards the heel, you see where the cage name for the Spiridon Cage comes into play. We have a Pemex material covering the air bubble that is a Zoom Air unit. This Zoom Air unit attains tensile fibers and pressurized gas all within this plastic enclosure to provide that responsive cushioning that you expect from a running shoe, or at least a Nike running shoe. At the heel, it actually notes that this shoe is equipped with Zoom Air unit. The outsole is still employing that Phylite foam that we saw on the midsole, employing that Phylite on the front half of the shoe, where we have some rubber pads right here, that black Nike swoosh on the front, and then at the heel of the shoe, this is done in a blown rubber component to enable flexibility and durability. Again, it's highly durable. Now, this is outfitted with a BRS 1000 technology, which is proprietary to Nike. BRS standing for Blue Ribbon Sports. If you didn't know, that was Nike's name before they became a household name. And I don't know what 1000 stands for. Now, there is some Stussy branding on the underside of the shoe. We see it right here, done up in black. When it comes to sizing, normally I'm rocking a size 8.5 or a 9 US, 8.5 being my true to size, and I went with true to size for this particular model, and I can honestly say it does fit true to the size. In terms of comfort, I think the shoe is pretty comfortable, especially with it employing that Nike Zoom Air unit on the shoe, because the upper of the shoe, it is pretty lightweight and features those perforated holes. It feels pretty comfortable. I will say again that I don't like that they didn't employ real shoelaces on the shoe, instead using that TPU or that rubberized cage that is going along the front side of the shoe. That's my only gripe about the shoe. It just feels a little bit tight. But otherwise, length of width or feeling comfortable on the foot itself, I think it's a pretty comfortable shoe. It's just an ugly shoe. Overall, I think this collaborative effort from Nike and Stussy on the Spiridon Cage 2, I get it. I'm just not a fan of the Spiridon shoe, whether it be the OG or the Cage shoe. I just think it's an ugly shoe. And if anything, I think Stussy, they should have plastered their name all around the shoe. I think this is kind of minimal in having only Stussy branding at the top of the tongue and then having it under the shoe. Like, they could have did a lot more. Out of the like colorways that were released, again, that tan one is my favorite of the bunch, but I'm not gonna go out and go buy that shoe because again, I'm just not a fan of this shoe. They could have did a lot more with this retro release. At that $170 price point, I think that's fair, especially with that Zoom Air unit, with that Pemex cage, with that Phylite midsole. Though I would rather see this shoe maybe closer to $150. I think that would be more reasonable, but at the same time, I know it's because the Stussy brand name is on this shoe. But again, if we're paying $170, then splatter Stussy all over the shoe. I don't know, if we were rating this on a scale of 10, I would probably give this 6 stars. It's baby heat. Alright guys, I think this is a good stopping point for this video. What do you think about this collaborative effort between Stussy and Nike on the Spiridon Cage 2? Is it a good pickup, bad pickup? Out of the entire Spiridon Stussy collaboration, what is your favorite colorway? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris.Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Fight that algorithm. And once we hit that 25,000 mark here on this channel, I'm gonna give away 2 more Supreme prices, so definitely stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm Chris Catalunya, and we will check you next time. Cheers! Sige na!